Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Saris Cycle-On Hitch bike rack. Saris Cycle-On Hitch bike rack is one of their latest racks and was developed specifically to make it easier to load and unload heavier bikes such as an e-bike. The rack uses a classic tray design, but features new design elements like folding trays and built-in features to improve the usability. You can see packaging-wise, it comes in one giant box and it actually is fully assembled. You simply have to put it on your bike and attach some of the small accessories, but it's really impressive, but a very heavy box. As far as specs, it retails for about $900 and it has a 70-pound bike rating. So for each bike, you can go up to 70 pounds for 140 pound total. It has a tool-free anti-wobble system with a simple dial to eliminate any free play in the receiver. It's compatible with 1.25 and 2-inch receivers, as it has a simple adapter. They include integrated dolly wheels, which is a really cool feature, so easy to stow it away. And you have a telescoping wrap included as well. And again, folding tray design with a center clamp. You can see it putting together really easy. Like I said, no assembly really required. You just have to put it in the receiver, take off some of the additional packaging that's there just to keep everything from getting scratched while shipping, and then put in the hitch pin. This one's a little bit more tricky. You just have to line it up, slide it through, and the way this locks is they have a lock pin that goes on the end, as you can see, with the same key that's used on the integrated locks on the actual rack. So very simple. And then to get rid of any wobble, again, there's this anti-wobble system. So it's a simple expanding plug and you just spin it by hand. And it's great just to wobble this back and forth to eliminate any additional play. This whole rack weighs about 53 pounds as well. And you can see the dolly wheels right here in this view. Now let's take a closer look at the fit and finish of the rack. As you can see, it's a standard 2-tray design, but it actually is a split tray and dual folding, so it'll tilt forward or upward for storage, and it has 2 levers. It's also symmetric, which is a little bit unusual. So there's no wheel well. You can see there's 2 ratchets on each side, and this rotating, articulating, and telescoping center clamp. Kind of an interesting feature that'll clamp down on the frame, and then you do both ratchets to hold the bike in place. So it makes it pretty easy to load and unload, especially with a heavier bike. Here's a closer look at that center clamp. Definitely interesting design. It's got a lot of rubber on there, so it shouldn't damage your frame. And it's a ratcheting design with a lock built in. So instead of a separate cable lock, you can actually just lock the release of the actual ratchet. So it's a pretty cool design. It'd be slightly harder to steal. You'd have to get in there with the cutter to cut the actual plastic on here. But like anything, you don't want to put your expensive bike out for too long. And as long as you can slow someone down, I think this is a cool feature. It's not a big, thin cable lock. Instead, it's really integrated in. It's a cool feature. It's right on there, and each actual tray gets a separate one. You can see this. It's the same key as the actual hitch lock, so it's the same key for all of them. It makes it very convenient, and it's a cool design. You can see a close-up of it on the seat post. Again, nice big clamp surface. You just pull it to tighten it, and with the ratchet design, it's really easy to lock in place and then release it. You just, again, have to unlock it, and that'll release the unlock button, and then you can pull it off. So pretty easy to use, and again, it's very adjustable, so it should handle quite a bit of frame designs. And then when you're done, or you want to lock it up for safety, if you put that on there again, it just locks down the button itself. The handles also are a little bit interesting, so dual handles. The middle one is the one you pull up. Nice and ergonomic design, has the gray handle, and feels nice and soft. Then you have the foot one, so you can either do it by hand or foot, and that'll tilt the whole rack forward if you want to access your bed. So if you have a hatchback or anything, this is kind of a cool feature. It's a little bit confusing though at first, which one's which, and it would have been nice if they had some labels or something on there. They also include this nice rack, so the ramp, you can see it's just a nice metal ramp. It's a telescoping design as well, so it has a little lock and it can extend. And this is to make unloading and loading a little bit easier. It has a very simple mechanism, and it's great that they include this with the other Saris racks. These can be as much as $150 on their own. It's just a big chunk of metal. It does not stay on the rack, so you have to put it in your vehicle, which is always the downside. It would be cool if it actually had a storage spot. But you can see you just position it at the edge, it'll lock into place, and then you can roll your bike up rather than having to struggle with it. So it's a very simple design that works well. And especially if you have a heavier bike, it's nice to have. So here you can see it goes all the way down the ground. The bike we have here is a little bit lighter, priority ace of spades, but if you have a heavier one, you can see just roll it up rather than having to try to lift it. Here's a close-up of that locking mechanism. Very simple, just kind of this spring handle, so you push down with a little tab and lock into place. So very simple to use and pretty secure, so even if you have a heavier bike. The only downside again with these ramps is you just have to store it somewhere, so not the most convenient thing. But very well designed and works well, especially when you have a heavier bike and you don't want to lift it. And once you're done with it, you can expand it down, undo that lever, and compress it and put it away. The other thing I want to point out is the ratchets. You can see they also have the rubber padding on there. And you do have to be careful to get the right orientation. You can see this is the wrong one. And I actually put the wrong one in the other picture as well. So you can see if it's in the wrong direction, it doesn't lock. So if you push, it'll come off. And I think it's a really minor thing, but something they could have avoided. This really shouldn't rotate a full 360 degrees. So make sure it's pointed in this direction downward, and then you can see nice and secure. And it also has a little pin on the other side to hold any excess. Here you can see another shot of using the rack. Overall, it's really easy to use. The usability is nice. You just have to take off the ratchets, position the center arm, and then once you put the bike on there, you can actually lean against that center arm for stability. So it's a well thought out design. And then the clamp, although I don't love it that attaches to the frame, it gives you more compatibility with racks or fenders. Once you have that on tight, you can put on the two ratchets, and again, fully symmetric, so that's a nice thing. You put it from the right side, left side. You don't really have to worry about it as the arm will rotate and telescope. Just make sure you put the ratchets on in the right direction. It's easy to put them the wrong way. And I think it actually is wrong in some of these clips, but once you position it, tighten it down, you have it fully locked in, so really easy to use. It's also nice that you can tilt the entire rack. So you can see here, tilt down quite far. So almost 80 or 90, close to 90 degrees, so around 80 degrees. And then you have access to your tailgate. So if you had a hatchback or a pickup truck like here, you can actually get tailgate access and then put boxes or whatever you want on there. So a cool feature, and the nice thing with the foot lever design is if you had 140 pounds of bike with two e-bikes on here, this would be really hard. But with the foot lever, you can get your foot in there and then push upward. That's one nice feature of this dual lever design, but otherwise it is a little confusing. It would have been nice if they're color coded or a little bit more obvious, because at first it's not clear what they do. The other cool feature is you can actually fold the trays for storage. So there's a little hidden gray button behind the tray. Pull that up, and then you can see you can fold them inward. And then once you've removed it from the actual receiver, you can see you tilt it one more time, and then you can actually just put this away really easily. So a very cool feature, something I haven't seen with the other bikes or other bike racks. So you can see if you want to take this off your vehicle, you don't have to worry about disassembly, finding space in the garage, and you have the wheels built in. Here's a little button. It's kind of well hidden, but once you find it, it's very easy to use. What we like about the rack is you have a compact form factor with the folding tray design. It's really easy to fold this up and then put it away in the garage. And they even have the dolly wheels built in, which is a feature we haven't seen before. Saris also done a nice job including other accessories. You have the rack, which usually can be $100, $150 on its own. And then the integrated cable locks for each bike tray. Also, it has a symmetric tray design, which is nice, so it's very easy to load and unload. You don't have the big wheel well like you typically do, which you have to pull the bike into. The main negative is the fact that you do have a frame clamp instead of just pushing down on the tires. It is a little bit more versatile, but with some frames, you might want to avoid that. Also, it has a dual lever design, which is really not that intuitive. Would have been nice if they included graphics or positioned it better, as you have a foot dial for the tilting, and then the center dial, or the center handle to pull up and fold the entire rack. Also, the ratchet direction can be flipped accidentally, so that's something we ran into. It would have been nice if those ratchets just didn't rotate all the way around. Otherwise, you just have to be careful and make sure you put in the right orientation. Taking everything into account, we give the rack an 8.4 out of 10. It's a compact and versatile rack with a lot of cool built-in features. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.